Assalamu alaikum. Today, I wanted to expound a hadith narrated by Abu Hurairah that hellfire is surrounded by lusts and paradise by adversities.
كافها يا عين صاد ذكر رحمة ربك عبده زكريا.
Abu Hurairah reported that the Prophet ﷺ said, hellfire is surrounded by lusts and paradise is surrounded by adversities. The path to paradise is surrounded by things disliked by a human being, because the human soul is naturally inclined towards comfort and ease. Likewise is hellfire. No one enters hellfire except those who remove the screen between them and the fire, and that is by committing sins and disobedience to Allah. Whoever tears the screen reaches what is behind it. The screen of paradise is torn by going through some difficulties, while the screen of hellfire is torn by satisfying lust and desires. These difficulties include striving to perform acts of worship regularly and patiently bearing any hardship that they involve. It also includes suppressing anger, forgiving others that had caused you tremendous harm, forbearance, giving charity, restraining the self from following lusts, and so on. The self may dislike praying regularly because of what it involves of exerting effort and by its interruption of worldly affairs that the self indulges in. Similarly, it may dislike jihad. It may also dislike spending in charity because humans are naturally disposed to love money. If the person controlled his lusts and went against what his soul desires by obeying Allah and avoiding what is prohibited, this would draw him closer to paradise and farther away from hellfire. Apparently, the lusts that surround hellfire are the prohibited lusts, such as drinking alcohol, adultery and fornication, backbiting, and so on. As for the permissible desires, they do not fall under the category of this hadith. However, indulging in them excessively is disliked because it may lead to committing a prohibited act, or it may harden the heart, or distract it from worship and doing good deeds, or it would make the person acquiring the pleasures of this world his main concern. The benefits of this hadith are, number one, when a person indulges in vain desires. This is because Satan adorns wrong and sinful things in his eyes. As a result, he sees them good and feels a tendency towards them. Number two, one may dislike something even though it abounds in goodness. Allah says, كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الْقِتَالُ وَهُوَ كُرْهٌ لَكُمْ وَعَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُوا شَيْئًا وَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ وَعَسَىٰ أَن تُحِبُّوا شَيْئًا وَهُوَ شَرٌّ لَكُمْ وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ وَأَنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Jihad, or fighting in the cause of Allah, is ordained for you, though you dislike it. And it may be that you dislike a thing which is good for you, and that you like a thing which is bad for you. Allah knows, and you do not know. Number three, a person should strive against himself and its own vain desires, because this is the screen towards going to hell. Number four, a Muslim must understand that for him or her to get to paradise, this process involves some difficulties and adversities along the way. Wallahu a'lam, and Allah knows best.